I just got home from Trader Joe's. I bought a bunch of flowers because I really want to give our space more of a spring vibe. The weather is so amazing here right now that I'm just ready to, I don't know, it's just getting me into the spring spirit. So I thought today I need to spruce up our home, make it feel a little bit more spring, summer, and swap out some of the winter textures that I have in our home right now for some lighter, airier textures. For me, as you guys know, I'm not someone who decorates a ton specifically for each season or even holidays. I just like to do little things that really help me feel like it's spring and really get me in that feeling and that vibe. So that's how I draw spring into our home. It's just little tiny changes that make a huge, huge impact, like flowers. So I'm gonna get these flowers put away. I also got some fresh herbs, which I do this a ton around this time of the year. I like to get fresh herbs it just makes it feel like being in an apartment, I don't have a garden. And this is just a way for me to feel like I have, you know, a garden or kitchen garden, and makes it feel just summery. It gives me that vibe. So that's what I do. I have these terracotta pots. I've shared these with you guys before, and it's so simple. All I do is take them out of these little bags and plop them right into the terracotta pots. Like, I do want to get some soil and actually plant them, but I don't have the soil right now. So for today, I'm just gonna pop the plant right in there, just like that. And it's such a simple thing to do. It's so easy. And the reward that you get for how simple and easy it just is amazing. So I'm gonna put, oh, there's a moth. What do I do? What do I do? I'm actually gonna layer this one in here because I don't have another one, but actually that's kind of cute just to add that extra layer. And then I have this one for the basil. And what's really cool is you can actually use the plants for, you know, your food. So it is awesome. Okay. We're gonna take care of this in a minute, but so that's a little start. I'm just gonna put that in there and set that aside. Another fun thing that you can do if you want your flowers to last a little bit longer is buy these little like they come in the soil instead of just the florals. I'm hoping that it'll fit in here. If it doesn't, I'll have to find a vase that it'll fit in, but I'm gonna take it right out of here. I'm actually gonna try to keep it in the plastic pot. Yes. And I'm just gonna shove it in here, and then you can pull off the leaves and kind of fluff it a little bit if you want. But this just gives you, this is maybe not the best pot for this, but you get the idea. I might have to find a different pot, but that way you can enjoy the flowers longer than just, you know, a week or two with the fresh cuts. It's another really fun way to do it. To bring a little bit more of a spring vibe in our room, I'm gonna swap out our bedding. I'm gonna go from Brooklinen sheets to Brooklinen sheets. Thank you so much, Brooklinen, for partnering with me on another video. I love Brooklinen. We have been using, and I've been sharing Brooklinen with you guys for a while now. Brooklinen's quality is absolutely impeccable. Their whole philosophy is to provide a high quality product at a fair price. You guys know I'm a little bit of a quality snob. So for me, it's really important to have a really high quality, especially your bedding. You spend so much time sleeping in your bed, and if you're like me, I like to get into my bed a little while before I actually fall asleep and spend time reading or watching a show and just kind of unwinding in my bed. So I really like to have a hotel luxury vibe, and I get that with Brooklinen. I have their classic, their luxe, their linen, and every single one of those I absolutely love. And I love that all of them, the more you wash them, the softer they get. They're just a really high quality product. You can choose between 20 plus different colors and patterns and mix and match. Also the sizing as well, which is incredible because we have a queen bed, but I like to use a king duvet and duvet cover. And also I like to use king pillows. So being able to mix and match and not being stuck to a specific size throughout the entire bundle is awesome. I love that unique detail because I truly think making those little tweaks just really help elevate your bedding in your space. So I'm switching from the classic sheets that we have on our bed right now that's in a cream color to a white, crisp white bed set on our bed. I said this earlier, but in the spring and the summer, I love to have a crisp, airy, serene, bright space, and that's why I want to go back to all white bedding. I absolutely have always loved that look. As you guys know, you haven't really seen much different on our bed, and that's because I really do like all white bedding. I just feel so at ease, and for me, my bed is a place that I want to feel calm. There's a couple of reasons too I'm keeping it super simple. It's really starting to get really warm here in Arizona, so adding a ton of layers just isn't going to work out here because it gets really hot. I just want to keep it with the sheets and the duvet. I don't want to add a lot of fluff, and right now we live in a super small space, so taking all the throw pillows off and throw blankets is just a little much. So I'm going to keep it really simple for the time being for spring and summer, and just go with all white bedding. Just the duvet, the sheets, and the pillows. Instead of buying individual items, save 25% by purchasing a hardcore bundle, which includes a core sheet set, extra pillowcases, and a duvet cover. I chose to go with their best-selling Luxe Sateen sheets this time. I wanted to go with something that felt a little bit more luxurious and had a slightly luminous finish. Right now, Brooklinen is having their birthday sale, and all Brooklinen items are 25% off through May 3rd. It's their biggest sale of the year, and it's the perfect time to try out Brooklinen or stock up on some of your favorites. For the living room, I did go with the linen covers. I love the monochromatic look that this gives to our space. It feels very, very luxury in here. It feels very high end, and I love that. I do need to get 2 more, I think, for the corner of our couch because we have a sectional, but I have 2 on this side and 2 on the other side, which I love. Like I said, the monochromatic look is absolutely what I'm attracted to, and I could always add in different patterns and colors if I want to spruce it up even more in the summer, but this really gives me a spring summer vibe for my style. I don't know what it is about linen, but linen always takes me to spring and summer. I feel like it's a very spring summer texture, and I love it. And I love the 2 different linen textures. This one's a little bit more sophisticated and clean, where this one's a little bit more textured. I love it. I love that. As I mentioned, if I wanted to, I could always pull in some different patterns and colors. I do have these as well, but I didn't opt for these this time. I like to keep things a little less busy, especially because we are in a smaller space. I just felt like going with the more monochromatic look was more my style and the vibe that I was going for this spring and summer. One of the easiest ways for me to really make our home feel like that season is to get fresh cut flowers, especially fresh cut flowers that are in that season. So right now I have some tulips, I have some other florals that are just spread throughout our entire home. This instantly puts me into a happy mood, really puts me into the spirit of that season. It also brings fragrance to our home. So that's another reason why I really love to add fresh cut florals. You can also get faux plants or faux florals. For me, I generally always opt for fresh because of a couple of reasons. One, I love fresh florals. They just make me so happy. They bring fragrance, but I also love the action of actually arranging these florals, even if it's just one bunch that I'm doing, really placing them in there and really allowing myself to absorb the florals, the season that we're going into, all of it. So I really do like to do that, but adding those fresh cuts for that season, whatever's kind of in season is a really great way to bring that vibe into your space. Also, I have found that I tend to gravitate towards my terracotta pots around spring and summer. I feel like it's just a material and texture that really puts me into the spring summer spirit. I actually didn't really realize that it was doing that until this year. I realized, oh my gosh, whenever spring and summer comes around, I notice myself gravitating towards my terracotta pots. This is actually a plant, which is another really great way if you don't want to do fresh cut because they don't last very long, but you also don't want to do faux. Getting a plant is another great way to get that fresh floral vibe, but will last a lot longer because it's in soil. I'm just gonna put this, I'm gonna swap out my little pot that I had over here and put the terracotta. This is just a little bit of a deeper tone, which is beautiful and can absolutely work for the summer, but just swapping out different textures really does allow me to feel more in that season that we're going into. While we are in the kitchen, another thing that I went ahead and did was pulled out my blue and white plates that I bought from Zara Home last year. I had these tucked away in my dresser that I store some of my decor pieces or seasonal pieces like these. Typically, I don't use these all year round. I like to pull them out around spring, summertime. Again, just to have, like I said earlier in the video, I don't specifically decorate for seasons or for holidays, but there are certain little pieces, textures, and materials that I like to pull out that really help me get into that season and that spirit. I think I'm gonna try to pull these out, maybe put them up on the shelf up here and use them for the next few months. This is a first for me and I'm really excited about it because I want to be able to swap out my artwork more. I really do want to have a collection of artwork that I can swap out during different seasons or different times of the year to, again, just bring in those certain little textures and visuals that help me feel more in the spirit. So if you watched my last video, it was an antique shop with me. I found this art piece at one of the stores. I got it for $24. I just felt like this was not only really a perfect piece to put into a kitchen, but something about, you know, kind of that farm to table vibe and fresh vegetables and kitchen and all of that. For some reason, to me, something about the spring and summer really gives me that like farm fresh vibe. I feel like that's when we grow a lot of our vegetables or go berry picking or, you know, whatever it is. So I thought this kind of made me feel a little summery and springy. I thought this is perfect because I have that watercolor up there, and if you saw the video that I actually got that in, I didn't vibe with it straight away when I got it, and I still haven't vibed with it. It feels a little bit off, but I felt like this one was a little bit closer to what I'm looking for until I oil paint my own. To be completely honest with you guys, this shelf is a struggle to style. I think it's because it's so long and there's nothing to really break it up. So pulling in some height to almost divide it would be ideal, but I don't really have anything that feels the way I want the kitchen to feel to go in that space. So what I thought about doing is just kind of making it feel like a working kitchen, like adding in the herbs up here, adding in the plates, and honestly, I don't know that I'm completely vibing with the blue and white plates. I feel like I have so much like the green pulling from here. I don't know, I'm just not really like that into it. So I am going to just play around, see what I can do. As I said, I don't know what it is about this space up here. It's a struggle. So because the basil isn't fitting in this very well, it was kind of bothering me, so I pulled out another just stone container that I have, which I like because it pulls in the stone from other things that I have. And then mixing it with the terracotta, I think is like a really nice little touch. Also, as I mentioned, making it feel a little bit more like a working kitchen. I'm not sure if I'm loving the artwork either. I might leave it up here and kind of feel it out for a little bit. But I think I'm gonna add my vintage breadboards up here again. I used to have them up here and I might put them on that end. I feel like that's gonna help pull in a little bit more of that like European French countryside kitchen is kind of what we're going for. So I need to play around with that. I don't think I'm loving the blue and white plates up here. So we're gonna take those down. I might just keep those stored away and pull them out for dinners. I kind of am still liking that. Still struggling over here. I thought about putting some like almonds or different things in these jars and placing them up here, and then it almost felt like it was too worky. So I'm trying to find a balance for the vibe that I have going on up here. I threw up this dough bowl to see how that would look, and it's just too heavy. So what I think I'm gonna do is go back to the plates. Just like adding in your seasonal florals, I also like to shop my vegetables and fruits in season. So right now it's lemon season. I have these just kind of stacked back here. So what I'm gonna do is place these a little prettier in our kitchen. So I'm gonna take the stickers off and place them in these marble bowls that I have right here. There are things in life, I feel, that takes us back to that season or that holiday or that time in life. So when you think about your childhood and you think about summertime, I think about driving down the road and the wildflowers growing or the daffodils along the Oregon roads. Things like that that just pull me back to that time. And those are special ways that you can, pull those items into your life. If they're happy moments for you, go get fresh cut daffodils or, pull in fresh lemons or whatever it is that makes you feel like spring and summer. It doesn't have to be the new drop that's at the big box store. It can be as simple as daffodils that you drove past every single day as a child and you want to pull them into your home. It's all about what it does for you, and I feel like that's something that I'm really trying to embrace more and think about more when it comes to my decor, because it really does make it unique to you and it makes it special and not necessarily, what everyone else is doing in their home. So that's what I try to do when it comes to my home decor. For the kitchen, I think the only other thing I'm going to do is pick up my lemon mess that I put right here and put the lemons in this beautiful dough bowl. And I think put them right behind here or even on the island, and take this out and just simplify it a little bit over there. When it comes to interiors, the feeling is what I notice immediately. It's not always necessarily about the visual of the piece, of the space, of the item. A lot of the time for me, it really is how that space makes me feel. I think that you can really, get the feeling across with many different ways, whether that's fresh florals during spring and summer, whether that's a fuzzy, fur blanket during the winter. You really can pull out those feelings. I love to bring in candles not only for the scent, but you also get the ambiance from the light. I love sitting down at the end of the day, putting on a show or a movie, or maybe even reading a book and lighting a candle. It just feels cozy all year around. It doesn't matter what time of the year or what season we're in, a candle just soothes the soul. I pulled out my iconic scent rose candle This is by far my favorite scent I have ever purchased in a candle. I have other ones that I really love, but this one, especially for spring and summer, is absolutely beautiful. And the only way I can describe it is not your grandma's rose. It is so rich and luxurious, and it is a luxury candle, so it's a little bit, you're splurging, but I think I will have to buy this candle for the rest of my life. It's absolutely beautiful, so much so I actually even bought a oil. It's a perfume oil that smells almost identical to it. I just love this, and I have been wearing it already. This spring is gonna be my spring and summer scent. I also love this one. This one was called Back Patio, I believe, or Back Porch. This one smells like fresh cut grass and jasmine and just like spring and summer. And I would love to keep this outside on my back porch, but it's already toasty here, so it's gonna melt. And I love the wicker container that it comes in. I am loving this texture this year. Something about it feels very elevated when you mix it in with some of your other pieces that you have accumulated and collected over time. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. I love to add in scent. I think it really does help bring in that spring summer texture and vibe and feeling and ambiance. And I like to do it through candles. All right, you guys, and those are the tiny little things that I've done to my home to refresh it for the new season. Let me know, what do you do at your house to get you into the spring summer spirit? Do you redecorate? Do you do just little touches to refresh your space? Thank you so much, Brooklinen, for partnering with me on another video. Don't forget to check out their birthday sale. I will have all the details and all of my bedding linked down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in a couple days with another. Bye.
I would say we were good together. I would say we had fun.